Yeah, I'll give you like an example that I see it changing the world. And I think it really is in time efficiency and taking things away from humans that humans have to do into things that a robot can do. Because ultimately, for instance, let's just talk about a podcast because that's what we're
Yeah,
on right now.
yeah.
A podcast at some point will have to incorporate as much AI as humanly possible to remove the human contribution to it in order to keep it effective. And if humans keep doing that task, it will make them ineffective and uncompetitive in, frankly, their show release schedule or their ability to stay relevant or their ability to interact with their customers, their listeners, right? It's going to kill podcasters who do not keep up with it. And I see this in anything, business development people, anything along those lines where there's a human interaction or someone who has to interact physically with a computer to get something done. If we can automate that, it's going to have to be automated just simply to stay competitive in the future world. I guess that's the way I see it.
Well, I think there's two stages here. So you're doing what I would call human in the loop, and in the human in the loop model, what we're trying to do is accentuate the unique contribution of the human by essentially subtracting out anything that a not only the AI could do, but actually can do better.
Sure.
I mean, it's very clear. There's a whole bunch of stuff the AI does better eventually,
Yes.
and so as you subtract that, people get scared for their jobs, and we have this whole. And by the way, protectionism isn't crazy. In the short term, protectionism makes sense. In the long term, it's failure.
Yeah.
But in the short term, it's a buffer, and I think people should not be you should not patronize protectionism because it's an important thing to think about. But it's not a strategy; it's a tactic. Okay, so but then there's another form of AI you're moving forward called systems of autonomy, where you say, you know what, there's no human in the loop. We're going to have self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Then, by the way, that's a long way away, I think.
I
But
think
the
so.
point
Yeah.
is, at some point, I think you say, well, no, we will have self-driving cars. But systems of autonomy are the ones where people are going. This is where they talk about AI risk. This is where they talk about all those things. So I think if to have a productive conversation about AI, we should say, look, let's set systems of autonomy aside and understand that those are still potentially highly risk bearing and need careful attention, and not confuse them with systems of intelligence, particularly with human in the loop, where basically it just makes sense. Other than the fact that it may put people out of work, which is a concern. But I think when you do that, what profession would not use this thing? And the thing that's shocking, I think, to people in the white collar is that every other form of automation to date hit blue collar workers much
Yes.
more than white collar workers.
That's right.
Gen AI, excuse me, that was you and me.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.